Just the title alone of this story is enough to make you very upset, very worried, and very disgusted. Especially when you think about a lot of people who work in a corporate setting or just in a job, period. And you just never know what people are going to do to your things, especially something you interact with every single day. So, the person in this picture's name is Lucio Diaz. And this guy is a janitor at a job at a place of employment. And on a hidden camera, this guy was caught putting putting urine in water bottles. Like, he literally pissed in people's water bottles. As you can see right here, that is his mugshot. And on the right of him is the picture from the camera that someone set up in their office that he didn't know. And you can see a water bottle right there. And that's, I don't know if that's him getting ready to do what he was doing or after he did what he did. But the more crazy part about this story is that it got discovered that this guy, Lucio, whose name should be Lunatic, has an incurable STD. Yes, this guy has an incurable STD and knowingly infected somebody. Somebody actually allegedly got infected at the job from after what he did. As a matter of fact, not just someone, but apparently, based on the title, more than a dozen women at the office. And this was a doctor's office that he did this at. So let's go ahead and get into it. A janitor in Texas is heading to prison for urinating into water bottles and rinsing his private parts in them, with more than a dozen women coming forward and accusing him of giving them a sexually transmitted disease at doctors' offices where he worked. Lucio Diaz was sentenced to 6 years in prison. He should have got way more than that on Wednesday. And by the way, this story came out on March 20th, and I'm recording it on March 24th. Let me read that last part again. It says Lucio Diaz was sentenced to 6 years in prison on Wednesday after pleading guilty to one of his alleged 2022 urine attacks on a woman he worked with at an office in the Houston area, according to local NBC affiliate KPRC. The 54-year-old victim contracted herpes simplex 1 virus from Diaz after he tainted an office water dispenser and water bottles she brought from work. KPRC reports this is exactly why people bring their own stuff from home. She spoke to a local ABC affiliate, KTRK, in October 2022 about what happened, saying cops confirmed through urinalysis that Diaz was behind the disgusting acts and that he was also caught on a hidden camera, which y'all can see in this picture. This individual is a sick man, the unidentified woman said while describing what was caught on camera. Diaz pulls out his genitals and puts them in my bottle, basically rinsing his privates in the water, the woman alleged. I learned I acquired a STD for which he also tested positive for. Diaz was charged with indecent assault and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, with his bodily fluids being considered the weapon as they contain an incurable STD, KPRC and KTRK reported. His acts were discovered after the victim and others came forward and reported smelling urine in their water and on their personal bottles. He gave me an STD I will have for the rest of my life, the victim told KTRK. Nothing is going to change it. And for that reason right there is all the reason why this dude should be getting way more than 6 years in prison, in my honest opinion. Nothing will make it better for me. In fact, I feel like for the rest of my life, I will have to be careful. At least 13 women have reportedly come forward over the past 3 years and accused Diaz of spreading herpes and hepatitis A to them, with 4 of them teaming up for a lawsuit that was filed against him in one of the office building where he worked in 2022. Women from at least 2 different offices in the Houston area have reportedly come forward. The civil suits reportedly named one of the building owners, its management company, the maintenance company, and the cleaning company that Diaz worked for. The status of the suit as of March 2025 is unclear. They have a duty to protect their tenants, and they wholly failed in those responsibilities, attorney Kim Spurlock told KTRK in 2022. And that is the entire article right there. This is some otherworldly nonsense right here. That this guy got pleasure in putting his urine, his bodily fluids, I should say, into people's water and then rinsing it off in the same bottle or in a different bottle. So either you were drinking the urine mixed in with the water, or you had your mouth on the water bottle where his privates were at. It's almost like you gave him, and forgive me for being vulgar when I say this, it's almost like you gave him a non-physical contact BJ. And we're all adults here. We know exactly what BJ stands for. That is crazy right there. But there's some diabolical people in the workplace. But again, this is exactly why a lot of people bring their stuff from home. Well, you know what? Take that back. Even if you bought it from home, it wouldn't really matter, because the thing is, if it's left on your desk, then the guy is still going to do what he did. So forget what I just said about bringing it from home. Just carry it with you, or put it in a place like, maybe, I don't know, like you have like a mini fridge in your office, leave it in there. Don't just leave it out in the open. This is right up there with, you know how people say when you go to the club and you leave your drink there, don't go back to that drink, just get another one. This right here applies to that. But one would think, oh, I'm at work, I'm in this office setting, nothing could possibly happen. Like, no one would actually do something like that. And I get it, because no one would expect someone to actually do something like that. Like, that's not something you think of like, if I just leave my water bottle right here, let me take it with me, because there's a good chance that someone might come around and put their private parts all up in it, and then furthermore urinate in it. And by the way, the person who did it might have an incurable STD. Like, that's something that doesn't seep into people's minds when something like this could ever occur. Like, no one thinks that something like this could happen, but now that people know or aware, then you should definitely take more precaution. As for this dude right here, as this guy right here, even though he only got 6 years, and 6 years ain't nearly enough of what he did, especially since he gave an incurable STD to at least one of these women, he does let the 6 years that he's going to receive be the longest and most excruciating 6 years ever. Because I'm almost certain the people inside are aware of what he did. They're probably like, what in the world is this guy, doing? Well, it's safe to say hopefully, where he's going, he won't be able to try to pull that off. If he did, it's really not going to end well for him. It'll just end, if you get my drift.